one of the, if I may, inside fun things about that, when this program first got announced, I called the Furniture Mart here in Omaha, of course, and then Schaefer's in Lincoln, and we gathered a number of other small appliance retailers throughout the state of Nebraska. I brought them to our office and said, hey, I asked, how would you like us to run that program? And they said, well, you know, they gave us a number of ideas, which were very good, and we put those into our application to the federal government. And then I said, well, you know, the governor and I are thinking probably before Christmas time frame, generate sales and get that money moving out the door as fast as we can. And almost to a person, all the appliance dealers said, no, stop. They said, you know, we really don't sell many appliances in December. I said, really? They said only a husband in trouble would think that that it's a good idea to get somebody a dishwasher for Christmas. So I put my hand back down, and so I said, well, when should we roll this thing out? And they actually the consensus is, and of course, you know, in the appliance industry, they have this down to a science. They said actually people make most of those purchases after they get their tax refund check in the spring, early summer. So that's what we're shooting for. And of our $1.7 million, we get from the Department of Energy this matrix, and you plug in numbers, and it kind of tells you what your rebate should be per appliance and per furnace and a heat pump. And our guesstimate is we will have we'll issue not quite 11,000 rebates. And one of the other questions that or issues we brought up with these appliance dealers, and actually, I mean, I learned a ton from this. I said, well, we'll probably just run that through our office and through our stimulus funds. You probably hire an accountant or someone, and they all kind of snickered. And I was like, well, you know, what did we do wrong? They said you're going to get 5,000. You will give away that 10,000 or those 10,000 rebates probably within 2 weeks. Said you will be snowed under. There's no way you can do it. And I said, oh. They said, yeah, you got to get a fulfillment company, and so we're going to do that. And, you know, we're issuing out through our purchasing division, the state government, get a request bids, that sort of thing. It's been very that component of the stimulus program has probably been the most interesting, and in some ways probably the most fun. But the way we've structured it is so we give the most rebate to a particular appliance that generates the greatest energy savings. I'm looking at Mark Nichols with OPBD, and that's the right answer, right, Mark? Generating the greatest energy savings. And also we're tagging that up with at the appropriate levels that the federal government has advised us. That also allows people to apply for federal tax credits. So we try to get a double dip. Also, people can apply and get manufacturer rebates, utility rebates. I know, is OPBD going to issue any? Really? I was just trying to put you in a corner. So, really? Well, we have it. We have an affirmative there from Mark. Some sort. Yeah. And the other, on OPBD's behalf, hey, I couldn't talk about the energy plan without making a plug for getting that old beer refrigerator out of the garage. If there is one thing, and I'm sorry I'm going a little long here, I've learned the last year and a half, my wife and I, we moved back to Nebraska 6 years ago. We moved into our home, and the previous owners had left the refrigerator in the garage. And that was very nice of them. I mean, they, believe me, didn't leave anything else. But so I thought, well, that's nice, and you know, you use that again for soda pop and you know other refreshments. I've since learned in this job that those old refrigerators are just energy hogs, and the previous owners did us no favors whatsoever, because they are just by and large, even in the last 10 years, I think the technology, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, refrigerators is one example in the home is just something that the technology is so much more advanced than it used to be. They're so much more energy efficient. One other thing I've learned in this, and we should use this for a pop quiz later, but of all the appliances in the home, what do you think is the one that utilizes the most energy or represents the most energy usage of your appliances? Oh man, somebody read my notes. Okay, that absolutely actually the clothes washer, because of the hot water heater. The hot water you utilize far and above in terms of energy usage, any other appliance in your home. So I haven't had much luck reducing the hot water usage in my home, but in that regard, with a couple kids. But just one other thing that some of the information we try to put out, not only in our state energy plan, but on our website in terms of information for consumers. Real quick, and leaving time for Robert here, the plan structure, we have the interim plan up on our website for folks to view that, and that's www.neo.gov. But what we try to do, we focused on key areas: agriculture, buildings, economic development, education, electricity, environment, financing opportunities, fossil fuels, research, transportation fuels. What we did, we went in, we'd give an introduction of those 13 focus areas, give an executive summary, kind of where's the state of Nebraska now, where would we like to be, a summary of energy usage in those areas, and then also recommendations in terms of what we should be doing in the future, how we should collaborate with other groups, be it the university, be it public utilities, consumer groups, you name it, legislators, federal legislators, state legislators, folks like Robert Burns, the other, I won't talk about Green Portal today, but
I'll mention it.
Okay, but how do we work together here to move the state forward? The other thing I would mention about the state energy plan as well is that our goal here is to make this a working document and not. I think what happened after '92, not naming names, but I just, that sometimes, particularly within government entities, these things are just prone to happen. I think the document got written, got set on the shelf for many years, and people said, aha, oh great, it's done, we have a plan, what's next? Where in this case, after writing this plan, and when we get it finalized, particularly since everybody made all those great comments and wanted to see what's in it, through our expanded stimulus funding, I was able to hire Dave Dingman, my environmental engineer, to help implement this thing. And what I've said, Dave, your task is, when we go down, every section by section, instead of saying at the end of the year, geez, what did we do? Oh boy, we really messed up, or I guess we should have been paying closer attention. No, all those action things are, Dave's going to help me implement this, and not only myself, but the governor and others, but to keep this thing moving forward, make changes as necessary. Just somebody who's dedicated to keeping this state energy plan up, moving, vibrant, and make sure it matches what's going on here in terms of what the federal government's requiring, asking of us, what the needs of the state. Renewable energy is a great example. What's happening in the renewable energy field? Wind, solar, geothermal. I might make a plug. I think the Natural Resource Committee tomorrow, your timing is very good for this event, has another public hearing tomorrow on their wind legislation, and they're moving forward. I guess that, Steve, maybe that's, we can debate moving forward or not, but attempting to move forward. But they have a plan they're working through, and through Dave and through the state energy plan and through the governor's office, we'll keep this thing moving forward, and no more sitting on a shelf. So if we do that, that's our fault.